All right, guys, it's the new year, which means it's almost time. Time for what? Not new beginnings, not new me, new year, all that crap. It's almost tax time. That's right, it's almost tax time. And today we're actually going to talk a little bit about taxes because I got a question about a very controversial topic, and that is what is the threshold to pay taxes? So we're going to get into that, and we got a couple other questions, so why don't we just jump right into things. Now, Brandon said he's thinking of jumping into this space. He's currently a clothing seller on eBay, and he's just as curious because he sees that I sell low dollar items, my prices are pretty low, and he's assuming that I make most of my money off of volume. That's a good question. Let's go talk about that. Wow, Brandon, you are a glutton for punishment, aren't you? You really are. You're probably like, wait, what are you talking about? You currently sell clothing on eBay. It's a pretty saturated market. I'm sure you know that. And now you're thinking about cards as well. It's another saturated market and another one, just like clothes, that can have a pretty low margin. Only difference with cards, you're not going to have to deal with all the returns. But your assumption is absolutely correct. I deal in volume at the low end price of $1.75 to $2 a card. There's not a lot of profit, not at all. So yeah, I have to deal in volume, and a lot of times I'm offering coupons with that for people to buy in bulk. That way I can get some bigger deals, because that's really where the money's at when you're selling the low end cards. So yep, I count on volume for my sales. Now in 2024, I'm going to change that a little bit. There's going to be a video coming up shortly where I talk about some of my plans for this year. I wanted to kind of wait for everybody's videos to run their course about their 2023 recaps, their 2024 goals. Just because I feel like we get overwhelmed with those because there's so many of them at one time that a lot of them get lost. So I figured I'd wait a couple days, probably come out next week or in a couple days. I think this video is going to be on Monday. So yeah, a couple days. And we will talk about a little shift in my strategy for 2024. Still going to be mainly low end, still volume, but I'm going to try and make some tweaks to get that ASP up a little bit. I saw some interesting things when I compared last year to the prior year when I goes to everything seller. It was kind of eye-opening, so we're going to look into that. Now, DJ asked something that I get asked a lot. Do I photo? Do I scan? What do I do to take my pictures for eBay? Good question. He also wants to know how I keep my cards organized since I have so many cards listed. Guys, if you're liking the content like this, make sure to hit like and let's go answer that question. I do a little bit of everything you mentioned. Everything you mentioned, I do a little bit of. So scanner, that is where most of my card photos come from. I do scanner. I have a Fujitsu 7030 older model. I know a lot of people now use the Epson or the Fujitsu 8170. Now Ricoh. If you're interested in the scanner, take a look at Amazon. I've got a link down below to what I use, and maybe you find something you use. Do get an affiliate commission on that if you do it, guys. Appreciate you that have done it. But yeah, I mainly use a scanner for most cards. I do use my phone to take pictures as well. Usually that's going to be on anything that doesn't come out looking right through the scanner. So sometimes prisms, I usually adjust the brightness on the scanner software, so that would do that. But let's see, I have some cards right here. Something like these foils that can be pretty shiny. Sometimes have those little rainbow colors coming through. Those don't show in a scanner. So to tell somebody you're going to get a 99 refractor of this, and they can't really tell because it's in a scan and the scanner doesn't show it, I'll take a picture with my phone. And usually that refractor shows through and it looks like a pretty quality picture, and they get a good idea and representation of what the card is going to look like. So I use the phone for that. A camera? When I was at Everything Seller, I used camera for all my other items just because I felt like the picture was better than a phone. For the sports cards, I don't bother. I just use my phone. It's pretty quick. And then when I'm doing the listing on eBay, since I don't use Card Dealer Pro when I take pictures, I can just hit upload from mobile device, get the notification, boom, boom, go back to the computer and do my listing because I do my listing on the computer. But yes, I do scanner, phone, and then if I decide to sell anything other than sports cards, I will use a camera. Now, how do I keep my cards organized? Good question, especially having over 13,000 cards. What I do is I have a system where I have boxes, like I have 13 boxes right now, and there's tabs inside of those. Every tab will hold about 100 cards. And I put that box and tab in my custom SKU on eBay, and it tells me exactly where the card is. At the end of this video, I will link in the suggested videos to my video that shows you this system and how I do it. It's how I store 15,000 cards. I think at the time when I made it, it was only 10. So I think the total might be how I store 10,000 cards. But I will have that posted at the end of this video. Now the question of the day. Before we get into that, I do need you to hit that subscribe button if you're new here, that we can keep seeing more videos like this. But question of the day, Axion says, are you at the threshold to pay taxes on your card income? It's a topic that always bothers me, hearing threshold. And he does want to know, does it cut into my profits even more? Well, obviously, but let's go get into the main part of this question. Yes, slow in game is slim pickings. Taxes, the thing everybody wants to talk about and a lot of people want to get around. Am I at the scale of having to pay taxes on card income? Does that cut into your profits even more? Yes, taxes cut into your profits. But depending on your expenses, you might actually not have much profit. It does. Every year I pay taxes and paid it on that profit. Luckily, I have a full-time job, so it kind of really just lowers what my refund's going to be. But here, looking at your comment is here where it gets a little controversial for me. When it comes to taxes, I've always tried to do things the right way. Doesn't matter the scale. Doesn't matter if I get a 1099. I report my earnings, I report my deductions, and I pay taxes. Even when I was on eBay making just $1,000 per year, say, $800 in a year, guess what I did? I reported it. Even though there was no 1099, I just always had that belief that, you know, this is tracked, this is electronic. If the IRS really wanted to, they can get that information and see that I made money selling online, and that, yeah, if they came after me, it'd be a small fee, real small, but instead of having a headache, I just did what was right. And we all have our feelings on taxes, and if they're right, if it's too much. And you know what? Feelings are one thing, but to me, the law is another. If by law I have to pay the taxes, I have to pay the taxes. So yeah, I've always reported. I report now. The last 2 years, that $600 minimum reporting that was going to happen didn't faze me. Because even when it was pushed back, guess what I said to myself? You're still paying taxes because it's the right thing to do. Even if you don't feel taxes are the right thing. But yeah, so on the scale, I do pay taxes. And obviously, paying taxes does also cut into your profit. Hope you enjoyed the video. Another short one. I'm pretty sure by the time I look at the editing down, probably be about another 10-minute video. Next video, maybe 2 videos from now. I'm not sure which one. Got to see the order of them. We're going to finally talk numbers. We're going to talk about 2023 compared to 2022. I saw some eye-opening things. And then we're going to talk about 2024, some changes I'm going to make, and, you know, just some various thoughts I have about 2024. So I hope I see you on the next video. In the meantime, why don't you take a look at the video that tells you how I organize all my listings